Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another segment in the Bossley Cafe. Today happens to be the day that I decide to drop another OG Falling from Grace series. Now, the individual that I'm going to refer to in this one as a fellow YouTuber. He's on here. And without further ado, the nigga that fell from grace is MELL KROSS. MELL KROSS from KROSS TV. Now, I'm going to give y'all a brief little rundown on MELL KROSS and the history of MELL KROSS. MELL KROSS was actually a big homie at one point. And he amassed that level of fame because him and another big homie at a certain time in history actually put in some work together on a very big name, a character back in the 90s though. So because they joined up and came at that dude, MELL KROSS ends up getting his hood. He becomes a big bro now, right? Now, for years, MELL KROSS was at the top of his career. Had his own hood, his own nation, his own thing going on. And then that shit got faded. Like, I don't know what he did, per se. But whatever he did, it got faded. And, when it got faded, it was just obvious that he was no longer the nigga he's supposed to be. Like, I remember being in upstate box with Mr. MELL KROSS. I was up north for him. We were in 8 building. That nigga was downstairs somewhere in about 20 cells something. I was directly on top of him. I remember the insults that he endured. I remember the disrespect that you received from the rest of the hood. I was there when the homies were talking to you all type of dangerously, all type of disrespectfully. And in return, you stayed quiet. You didn't argue, didn't defend yourself. You gracefully bowed out. When you came home and you got to be a free man, you were no longer jacking your hood. You were no longer jacking as you were a member of blood. You came home a fucking neutral nigga. You never reclaimed your fame in the mountains, nigga. You came home to this town telling these people out here who you used to be, not realizing who you became. Now when we dig deeper into your shit, you come on YouTube. All these months, I ain't say shit to you. All these months, I've known your secret. I haven't said a word. You know what changed all that, man? Do you know what made me want to expose the truth about you to the world? Because I feel now like you look whack. You look whack. You got us looking crazy too. You married your cousin, nigga. You married your fucking cousin. Put that to the side. You got your whole... This is why you fell from grace too. You's a dumbass. You's a tender dick dumbass. Why would you go and reach out to your bitch's ex-baby father, or your cousin's baby father, the one before you? Why would you even reach out to him acting like super stepdad? Like, because you were a stepdad, you had the S on your chest. Like, you had the right to address that man about his fathering. Isn't the point of a stepfather to step in where the father is lacking? Isn't that the stepfather's job? What happened? You couldn't afford it? Is that why you reached out to him? Because now, all you did is show the world that she leveled down. She should have stayed with that nigga. He out there doing good, working from Amtrak. And has your bitch still talking about him. Not only that, when he took to making his rebuttal about you, he came off as the real gangster, as the real big homie. Wow, you over here looking crazy. Looking crazy. But the biggest fall from grace of them all, like the biggest thing about you that I felt was just sluttish. You were the trap setter, nigga. I hit your bitch ass up about Flip Studio. And you were the rat. You ran your mouth. You opened up your mouth like a rat in the game of telephone. You were the leak. Which doesn't surprise me now that we find out all your other disgusting characteristics. Or your other ways. And it's so crazy. You come off so official because the hats have an amazing army. But do they know that you really not the big hat? Do they know that you really nobody, nigga? That in the mountains that the hats was gunning for you? Do they know that? Did you find yourself on the road to redemption? I don't know. This is my opinion, though. This is my history lesson on you and what I know about you. This is your fall from grace, in my opinion.